Far in western Nigeria, spanning across Nigeria, Niger, Chad, Cameroon, and extending slightly to Central African Republic, we have an ancient tradition you probably won't believe. Still practiced till today, men from this and no, we're not talking secret affairs. I mean, the men in this tribe can straight up take another guy's spouse legally and face zero consequences. It sounds crazy, right? But it's absolutely real and has been part of their culture for centuries. The Woodabe live in the harsh Sahara Desert regions, struggling to survive while also putting huge importance on beauty and sexuality. But the big question is, how do these tribesmen go about stealing another man's partner? Well, in this video, you will learn about the shocking details of the Wodaabe wife-stealing ceremony, called the Gerawa Festival. The Woodabe tribe comprises nomadic cattle herders roaming the desert territories spanning Niger, Nigeria, Cameroon, and Chad. They're a subgroup of the larger Fulani ethnic group, but somehow set themselves apart with unique traditions centered on beauty and sexuality. In fact, their very name, Wodaabe, literally means people of the taboo in their native Fula language, and to be honest, they live up to that name. Their moral code emphasizes virtues like these men go all out, painting their faces to make their eyes pop and teeth appear brighter. And the goal of these Woodabe men is to be chosen as the most beautiful male by a panel of lovely female judges. During this festival, married Woodabe women check out these male dancers, looking to indicate their interest in one they find most attractive. The way it works is 2 to 3 female judges are specially chosen by the male tribal elders based on their patience and fortitude. These judges closely watch as the men put on an energetic dance show called the Yake, where they line up, showing off their best moves while grinning to display their white teeth and rolling their eyes to enhance their light-colored eyes. These two are literally the most significant factors that prove how beautiful the Woodabe men can be. When a woman sees a dancer she desires, she'll approach him individually and make a subtle, almost unnoticeable gesture to select him as the most beautiful and charming. This is also a way to signal her romantic interest. When the sun goes down and the night falls over the desert, things get really scandalous. Using the darkness as a cover, that man who caught the eyes of a married woman during the ceremony will go looking for his new love interest. But this is where it gets even more exciting. He has to try to steal her away without her husband or anyone else realizing. If successful, she automatically becomes his new wife. Just like that, a new marriage is born. Now you might be thinking, how can the Wodaabe just let their wives get snatched like that? Well, there are a few key things to understand about their marital rules. First off, this tribe practices polygamy and polygyny, which means both Wodaabe men and women are allowed to have multiple spouses and partners, but it gets even more liberal from there. When a Wodaabe woman gets pregnant, she actually returns to her mother's camp for 3 to 4 years after giving birth. During that long period, she and her husband are basically forbidden from any contact whatsoever. She cannot see her husband, and her husband is forbidden from seeing her too. However, while the wife is pregnant, the tradition permits the husband to go wife-stealing and marry even more wives for himself. The more wives and children a Woodabe man has, the wealthier he's seen. It's definitely an eye-opening glimpse at domestic life for these folks. marriage, polygamy, wife sharing, it's all built differently in Wodaabe culture compared to modern norms. To put things into better perspective, it is truly unimaginable that your wife or girlfriend can be stolen from you during a ceremony like this. To a considerable extent, just the thought of this seems totally bizarre and unacceptable by modern standards. But for the Wodaabe people, their wife-stealing ritual at the Gerawol festival is a celebrated tradition deeply rooted in their culture's values around beauty, sexuality, and martial flexibility.
O Niger Masai, nenyor ninche enkang sapuk natii iltung'anak kumok, neteneyau lolo tung'anak neponu ake anyorru ometotoni pookin tenebo enyorra.
Now, beyond all of these, women from the Woodabe region generally seems to also enjoy unrestricted sexual liberty. Wodaabe women are allowed to sleep with more than 2 men at the same time. So far, she isn't married to any of them yet. And this doesn't even stop after marriage. For instance, if a woman thinks her husband is unattractive, the husband can allow his wife to sleep with another man she thinks is more attractive so they can produce better looking babies. But beyond their sexual experiences, the people of Woodabe even explores weirder traditions up to their families. For example, in some subgroups of the Woodabe tribe, parents must not communicate with their first children directly, especially during their early childhood years. This trend is common among mothers, and when they really need to speak with their first fruits, they would use indirect methods like calling their nicknames or speaking to them in the third person.
Tapai ninya nange nyorrata sidai amu ore entae endanyorrata nenkena intae nyorrata naa iltung'anak oora onyorra. Oyo nikinyorra yiok kira iltung'anak kumok. Metaa ajoito nanu ena nyorrata ang' sidai oltung'anak kumok.
Kaetu orkaiki lorpayian. Kolimu kayieu.
Alimu tadu. Inyale orpayian lai amu kuyate orpayian lai. Nesidai orpayian lai. Yake okihok ake sidai. Amu kindipa di maisha pokira. Sidai orpayian lai.
Whether we agree with it or not, there's no denying the Wodaabe way of life is utterly fascinating and unique, especially compared to our norms and taboos in the Western world and even several other parts of Africa. We have now come to the end of this video. Don't hesitate to share your respectful thoughts on the Wodaabe tribe in the comments. While at it, don't forget to smash the subscribe button and ring the notification bell, so you will be among the first to know when next we publish another mind-blowing video like this one. Bye for now, and see you in the next one.